Thank you, Judy.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yes, J&F Paul and decorative copper. Some of it was a bit of a mystery to me as well. And it's amazing when you start researching, you find out more and more about somewhere that lived you didn't know about, and you were surrounded by it. So here we go. So as a Hayle girl, I'm always fascinated about the amount of rich history that is connected to the town. In the 18th and 19th century, it was a major industrial centre driven by the copper industry. It became a centre for steam engine manufacturing and was a major port for importing coal and exporting ore. These varied industries over the years gave it its unique identity. Oops. Okay. Why is that not working? Hang on just one moment. My screen seems to not let me move on to the next page. Just one moment. Why is that? I'm just going to have to escape, guys, just to find out why that's not working. Uh, oh, right. I have no idea why that
With
is happening.
one of
Try.
your try the down button.
Yes, I'm trying the down button. Oh, hang on. I'll do it. I'll do it. Right, I'll just do it this way. So
Yeah.
in 2006, the Port of Hayle was awarded World Heritage status as part of the Cornwall and West Devon Mining Landscape World Heritage Site. One of these industries in particular, the Cornish Hand-Wrought Metal Company, founded in the 1880s in Copperhouse, Hayle, were producing handmade copper products. Little did I know that this was just the beginning of a journey that went on to reveal connections between the manufacturing of perforated sheet metal, Cornish shovels, mortar bombs, a bridge building project, and the Hayle Company of J&F Paul Limited. This company was very important in relation to the industrial history of the town. And I remember as a child walking past the factory and hearing the operation of machinery and heavy equipment. The internet is a fantastic tool for finding out information, but a visit to the Hayle Heritage Centre in August 2024 provided me with hands-on information from volunteer Sharon Johnson. Sharon had previously created an exhibition on J&F Paul that I was given unlimited access and most exciting access to the collection of Cornish Hand-Wrought Metal Company catalogues and a collection of handmade decorative copper. This is something very special in being able to touch history, that physical connection to the past. It was amazing and a real privilege, and it gave me a greater understanding to the importance of the role this company played in the lives of the people of Hayle. Let us start where it began for me with the Cornish Hand-Wrought Metal Company. They created exquisite items like this copper charger, biscuit barrel, and tea caddy. These decorative pieces, primarily in copper in the Art Nouveau and Arts and Craft Glasgow style, include a hammered decoration added at the finishing stage. The main design on the Cornish Hand-Wrought Metal Company products was stamped out using moulds in larger presses with zinc dies. Each piece made were guaranteed to have a hand-hammered finish. Thus, no two pieces are exactly alike. Some pieces involved a considerable amount of handworking, while others were left plain and only a minimal amount of finishing was completed by hand. The rolled sheets of refined copper that were used to make these products mostly came from mills in Birmingham. These products were similar to those produced by the Newlyn industrial class established in 1890. The big difference was that Newlyn copper was totally handmade, and their designs typically featured fish, ships, and other nautical themes. However, they never reached the position of mass marketing and production. In 1908, the Cornish Hand-Wrought Metal Company was taken over by the more progressive J&F Poole, a long-standing engineering firm in Hayle. James Tinman Poole started a company in 1848, producing plumbing services, tinware and tools for the local community and the Cornish mines. Inspired by their father's business, J&F Poole was founded by his sons, James and Frederick, on their return from working in South Africa in 1862. The company was manufacturing punch screens and other artifacts for the tin mining industry. The brothers fell out, and James sold the business to Frederick, who continued under the same company name. Taking on the role of producing the decorative copper pieces, J&F Poole continued with the basic, cheaply made forming, using moulds with most of their finished products unmarked. This 1909 catalogue features the most wonderful hand-illustrated products available to order. These included such items as fire screens, hot water jugs, clocks, coal bins, mantelpieces, and candlesticks. This next edition catalogue, part of the artifacts housed at the Hayle Heritage Centre, shows a much more updated layout of its product, still available to order. That included hand-wrought nameplates with its various sizes available in feet and inches, and the cost in pounds, shillings, and pence. Hand-wrought jardiniere stands, and I'm sure we've all got one of those in our house, and these very attractive hand-wrought panels. In 1910, under J&F Poole's ownership, the company engaged a London agent, Henry Campbell, to produce a catalogue. This comprehensive 58-page catalogue of art metalwork showed prospective customers that whole rooms could be fitted out with Hayle copper, from large wall mirrors to small trinket boxes. The products were now produced under the name Poole's Cornish Hand-Wrought Copper. The guarantee from J&F Poole reads that every article illustrated in this catalogue is made entirely at our works at Copper House, Hayle, and that all articles are hand-hammered. Thus, no two pieces are exactly alike. And if you don't see what you want in the catalogue, any article can be specially made to customers' own designs, and being made by hand, single articles can be supplied. Those invited could also call on the works if they wanted to purchase something, which was always open for inspection. A page in the catalogue shows the exterior view of the works. The more modern look is reflected in the layout of the catalogue. The catalogue included illustrations of 73 different types of products, but not cookware. These included photo frames, clocks, nameplates, trays, coal boxes, crumb trays, fenders, fire screens, mirrors, candlesticks, gongs, door furniture, inkstands, and writing pads, canopies and coal boxes, and many other practical and decorative items. This photograph shows a trade stand displaying decorative everyday items produced by the company, advertising Paul Bess as their agent for Penzance. Sadly, the production of decorative and household copper work declined during and after the 1914-18 war, so that J&F Poole could concentrate on other products. They were registered as engineers, iron and brass founders, metal perforators, wire weavers, tinsmiths, and coppersmiths. During the Great War, the factory became heavily involved in the production of trench bombs and mortar Stokes shells. These images show munition production in 1915, and many of their workers were female. Some decorative copper continued to be produced at the works. In 1922, the company attended the British Industries Fair at the White City in London, exhibiting their hand-beaten copper fire screens, coal vases, trays, clocks, hot water jugs, cigar and drinker boxes, mirrors, and hall sets. The fair was a major annual trade show event for showcasing the strength of British industry, craftsmanship, design, and quality. It attracted visitors from around the world and was a significant event for both the domestic and international trade. During my research, many of their copper products were made especially for Liberty & Co. of London, who evolved into a powerhouse of the arts and crafts movement. The company was increasingly moving into other markets, and I can find no actual date when production of the decorative copper products ceased in the 1920s. Over the years, these copper and brass items have become highly collectible and can still be bought at auctions and collectors' fairs today. And the money values that I've put under the pictures were ones that I actually found online that were from various auctions. So from going from pounds, shillings, and pence, they're now fetching quite a lot of money. And here I am, holding a cigar box from the collection held at the Hayle Heritage Centre. In the 1920s, J&F Poole acquired the Cornish Shovel Company at Roseworthy, an automated water-powered hammering and punching works. This facilitated the expansion of their production line with the manufacture of Cornish shovels. Vanning shovels used for washing ore, ladles, box irons, and iron chimneys for mines. It maintained the methods of its early days, methods of slow but cheap and good production. This satellite works for J&F Poole went into voluntary liquidation in August 1941, having difficulty in obtaining the necessary steel during the Second World War. Between the two world wars, Poole's concentrated on designing and manufacturing many types of screening and stone grading machines that were used in mining and quarrying industries worldwide. The firm was to become British medal-winning metal perforators and develop what was, in its time, the accepted national standard gauge. James Poole invented the Cornish gauge to define the perforating sizes in the production of mining screens that were used worldwide. Their perforated sheets became available in a wide choice of materials, including mild steel, tin plate, stainless steel, copper, plastic, titanium, and even paper. During the Second World War, the company took up its role once again as a munitions factory, producing mortar shells, aircraft engine cowlings, gun mountings, fuselage components, and ammunition boxes. The workforce was increased to over 500 employees. These pictures taken in 1943 show munition workers at J&F Poole operating lathes to bore and face the nose ends of mortar bombs. And here are pictured women workers checking 25-pounder artillery shells. Director, possibly Mr. Franklin Poole, reads a telegram from the Ministry of Supply to the workers gathered on the factory floor, congratulating them on the production of their 1 millionth mortar bomb. These World War II photos and information were sourced from the Imperial War Museum online collection. At the end of World War II and the decline in the mining industry, J&F Poole rapidly expanded in the metal perforating business. Their goods were exported all over the world. Some production items may surprise you, such as panels to line the walls of the Jubilee Underground Station in London, lightning grills for the 001 and 002 Concorde aircraft, and panels with acoustic tiles for the award-winning Lloyd's building in London. The company's connection with the armed forces continued even in peacetime, making air intake grills for the Jaguar fighter plane, and in the 1980s supplied the Ministry of Defence with a range of field catering equipment made to NATO specifications. By 1982, the company was spread over 16 acres with more than 10,000 square meters of workshops and offices. The company was controlled by the Poole family up until 1986, when it was sold to Cooper Industries. The company was then acquired by Ash and Lacey of West Bromwich in 1995, and work continued under the name of J&F Poole until the year 2000. They closed the factories in 2001 and moved production to the other factories in the Midlands. An end of an era. 153 years from when James Tinman Poole started producing plumbing services and his sons taking inspiration to start J&F Poole in 1862. Many generations of Hayle people have worked and or had relatives that worked at J&F Poole. Many of the company buildings were demolished and parts of it replaced with housing. One such estate is appropriately named Poole's Court. Old warehouses were put to other uses and as late as 2021 demolished to make way for further housing projects. However, there are two exceptions. The Works Canteen building, built in 1918, was restored and is now the home of the Cinnamon Trust, a charity that provides support for the elderly and their pets. The other being the Copperhouse Market House, a Grade II listed building. Built in 1839 by the Cornish Copper Company and eventually purchased by J&F Poole in 1916. It sported an impressive clock tower, which reputedly showed both local time and with a red hand, London time, apparently with an hour's difference. These postcard pictures were taken around 1905, and you can clearly see the clock tower in the background. The building was eventually, as I say, purchased by J&F Poole in 1916 and can also be seen illustrated on the cover of a previous catalogue of the Cornish Hand-Wrought Metal Company. Unfortunately, the building lost the clock tower to a fire. This building served many purposes over the years, from a sheet metal shop, building aircraft panels, to making perforated filters in the 1960s. The building was converted in 1972 and became the company offices. Unfortunately, it has lost its very original stone frontage and has been stuccoed and extended in recent years. But what of the building now? It's now occupied by a surf shop called Down the Line. In its heyday, J&F Poole employed 350 people. If you look around Hayle now, you would never know that the company existed. All that history gone. However, a new bridge built during 2011 and 2012, spanning Copperhouse Poole to bypass the historic 1880 Iron Swing Bridge, now known as the Jubilee Bridge, gave an unexpected opportunity to pay tribute to one of Hayle's biggest historic employers. Copperhouse Pool is a nature reserve under the protection of the Royal Society for the Protection of Birds. As part of the planning permission for the bridge, the Society insisted on a screen be added, ensuring the birds are not disturbed by the traffic on the bridge. Cornwall councillor for Hayle, John Pollard, came up with the idea that if they had to have the screen, then it be perforated in a pattern to reflect the work that J&F Paul produced throughout most of the 20th century. The screen, perforated in a wave pattern, was manufactured by Ash and Lacey, the company that took over J&F Paul. The town council worked closely with them and contributed its views throughout. It was also agreed that the finished screen would have a small plaque linking it to J&F Paul. There are still many men and women who worked there living in Hayle, and practically every family will have some link with the works. Knowing this, I searched the length of this bridge a number of times during my visit in 2024, but couldn't find any plaque. Thinking to myself, who would know where this plaque would be located? I emailed Hayle Town Council, the same town council that worked closely with the makers of the screen, Ash and Lacey. Their answer: we do not have any information, but we do have a councillor who is a local historian, Trevor Smitheram, and that they could pass on my email if I was happy to share my details. For those of you that haven't heard of Trevor Smitheram, he is a Cornish bard and president of the Hayle Old Cornwall Society, and has his own website, Cornish Trevor, and has a number of YouTube presentations you can view on the history of Hayle. So yes, I was happy to share and received a reply from Trevor with a photo. Not exactly what I was expecting. No wonder I couldn't find the plaque. It was covered in graffiti. You can just make out the J&F logos. I felt a sense of great disappointment. All that history reduced to this. After an intensive search on the internet, I found a picture of the original plaque in all its glory. What a shame that the town council has not felt it important enough to replace or repair it. Finally, I would like to say that this presentation originally started out as a story of the production of decorative copper made in Hayle, but it became a whole lot more. This journey for information has taken me to the Hayle Heritage Centre, the article from Brian Pascoe in Church, Clidgy and Doodle Dashes, corresponding with Hayle Town Council and historian Trevor Smitheram, and spending numerous hours researching on the internet. Any errors or omissions in the facts are entirely my fault, and that included a bit of guesswork. I've learned so much more about the town that I grew up in, and it continually makes me feel very proud of where I come from. I'd like to thank the CAV for giving me the opportunity to share this piece of industrial history with you, and I hope you've enjoyed hearing the story of decorative copper and J&F Paul Limited of Hayle.